How's everyone doing? How's everyone's weekend ending? Hopefully well enough. It's very hot out these days as we are into summer. This week we are focusing on recipes traditional or adapted onto kind of the native heritage. Kind of focusing because next week I'm going to be looking at recipes around 1776, so it only made sense to look at recipes from those here before the colonies came and took everything over and made it very, very white, which I am. So yes, so we're starting off with fry bread. It's probably the first thing I've had that I knew for sure was native because at my college, I went to college out in Oregon, and some of the tribes in the area would come and have a powwow at our school's kind of like gymnasium, maybe another like that building. And you could buy tickets, you could go. They had different things where you could learn about the different cultures. They had food to eat, and they would give speeches and performances and whatnot, which was really, really informative, really interesting. I really liked it. And I remember the fry bread. I know I ate other stuff, but I remember the fry bread as being really, really good. So I decided that's what I'm going to kick off Native American Recipes Week with is fry bread. I did do some research on it, as I'm trying to do for all these recipes. It wasn't introduced into Native cultures until the mid 1800s. So there's some controversy with it. A lot of Native people, it was kind of mainly in like the Navajo Southwest region, which makes sense because I saw a lot of people talking about how they use it instead of tortillas for their tacos. And some people think like this is like their heritage, it's their resilience, it's how they kind of had to learn to adapt and persevere. And others really were like, this is what the white people forced us to do. It's what they gave us because they, you know, took our land and they took all this stuff from us. And so there's some controversy around it, but it still does seem to persevere with many people. And outside of just the Southwest, as many of them were moved to different areas. And there was, of course, the whole boarding school controversy in an attempt to assimilate. So you had a lot of kind of cross-cultural blending between the tribes that would not normally have happened. So that's where we see fry bread in other areas, not just in the Southwest kind of tribal area. Anyway, let's get to it. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy. All right, we've got 6 cups of flour. In there, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Put the top on that. And 1 teaspoon of salt. All right. If you'll see, we've got some oil heating up over there because we fry the bread in oil, thus fry bread. All right, we've mixed that up, a little out there. We've got 3 cups of warm water that we're now going to stir in. Get that going. Then we have to knead our dough after that. We're going to get that all mixed in. But yeah, I know things that people could have gone to and seen to learn about Native cultures in different areas has been very closed off because a lot of them have been hit very hard in the pandemic. I don't blame them for keeping outsiders in. Lord knows we've done that to them before. But when things reopen, and if you ever get the chance, it's really worth it. It's just really interesting, I find, and it's why I majored in anthropology. I really enjoy learning about other cultures, things unique unto them, things we have in common, kind of why things became what they became, the different traditions and such. It's fascinating. So I highly recommend it. Hang tight. All right, it's got a nicely floured surface. We've floured our hands and kind of flour on the top too. So we're just knead it into a good consistency. I know we've made different breads from different recipes. We do find some common themes, but some that are different. But that 6 cups of flour seems to be that like very normal. This is what we start with. Just getting that going. Till it's not too sticky to the touch. Get all the flour in one area, so I kind of gotta get it from the other. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of focusing on getting it to the right texture. I think we are there. So I'll just show you for one. So you get it, and then you're going to kind of just get it like a handful. And you're supposed to flatten it out until it's like the size of your hand. Of course, I know my hands are kind of small by comparison, but then we're gonna fry it, so hang on. All right, so our oil is getting hot. We're gonna do a test fry bread on in there. Should just need a couple minutes on each side. Just gonna let it go. Then we'll be able to flip it over and we'll finish off the batch, and I'll show you all of them when they're done. And if there's a better one to show than this, because it always kind of takes that first one when we're frying, at least for me, to kind of get the hang of it all. You just hear that oil, so you just gotta be careful because you don't want to get burned. You get little pops. There's no way you can avoid the little pops, but you want to avoid a big pop and a bad burn. Alright, we'll check back when it's done. Alright, so I'm going to drain this, and then I'll probably show you guys one of the later batches. Hang on. Alright, so see, nice and golden brown, like the instructions said. Just doing that, drain them. Drain them and then you serve them. You can serve them with like sugar and cinnamon on top. You can serve them with savory dish. Some people use them, they say they use them in place of rolls for their dinners. It's just up to you how you want to do it. All right, so there's my pile of it. They're not as like perfect, nicely shaped like you typically see, but it was my first try. But again, if you ever are able to go to a powwow or something, to visit a Pueblo or something like that, and they have it, you should try it. And I have so many that we can use for both, like side with savory, and I think I'll even try some of the like powdered sugar and cinnamon. I have not had it that way before, but it sounds really good. All right. Bon appetit. See you later.